Now if I did my job right, I should have light. Yes, let there be light. Look at that. We have lighting. Nice. Nice, nice. Can't wait to see what that's like at night. But the countertop is certainly lit up. I can't wait to see what it looks like on the camera. But it's beautiful here. This is going to help me actually with my work. Look at that. Very nice. I like it. Now I gotta hide all this ugly wires. All this mess. Look at that. I really like it. This is gonna be good. Wow. Now I can see in here. Can really see what I've got in here. Now I can see the sawdust and shavings from drilling. I'm gonna have to brush this off. Oh yeah, I can work like this. I'll be able to work here, no problem. I've got multiple shadows. This actually plays funny tricks with the eyes because there's 3 lights. It's gonna work. I like it. So now we've got light in the kitchen. No more dark, shadowy video work in the kitchen. So there they are, the spotlights in my tiny house on wheels. You can actually see the effect of the lighting down here. Yes, I'm wearing sandals. You can see the effect of the light in here very well. Light off, camera adjusts. It's actually darker than the camera makes it look. Light on. Nice, huh? Look at that. That's some serious amount of light. That is a lot of light. Very good. Look here at the wall. Very nice. I like it. Gonna be good. I don't like the color, but hey, it's a spotlight. It's gonna be for working in the kitchen, and it's super low power. There's 3 watts of power right there total. So hardly any current being drained out of the batteries, and plenty of light to work by. Really nice. Alright, so I'm going to finish hiding these wires here and move on to the next project. Well, there it is. I've often heard you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I use standard cover plates and switch to do my tiny house lighting. I think it looks really nice. It's well hidden. It blends in and matches the look of the house overall, and it does the job. I'm very satisfied with this. Very pleased. I like it. Look at the brightness of that. Can't wait to see this in the dark. It's a huge, huge difference. These are just ultra bright LEDs. Of course, the camera is adjusting for the darkness and countering everything I do. But anyway, how about looking in that dark box? Look, it lights it right up in here. Some bright little LEDs, 1 watt spotlights in my kitchen. The tiny house lighting coming along. All low power, low current, 12 volt LED spotlights in my tiny house kitchen. Ah yes, I can't tell you how good this feels. Well, 1 down, many more to go. For now, that's enough light to work in here. I will continue on later with the running the wiring all the way across, but really that's not urgent today. The primary thing now is to get some living room lighting going and get this living room cleaned out so I can start using this place. Get the I gotta finish hooking up the solar power to the battery bank that's outside now and get all of this out of here, and then I can actually start using this house. Okay, now hooking up the solar power is simple. Let me flip on the light here so I can see what I'm doing down here. You can see what I'm doing. I've got the charge controller, little Harbor Freight guy, sitting here. I just want to double check I do have the battery wires hooked up. Yes. Make sure they're tight. Alright, I'm going to go outside and clip on the battery wires to the batteries. And then I can run the solar panel wires into here, turn it on, and I'll be charging my battery bank as I work. So, be efficient. Shut off the light when you leave a room. This part is really simple. I just want to hook them up on the opposite sides. So I'm going to hook the positive onto the positive here. Alright, and the negative onto the negative terminal. And then I should have power inside on my charge controller. So let's go in and see. I should be able to turn it on and see the battery voltage levels. Flip on my new light so we can see what we're doing down here. And we should be able to turn this guy on and turn on the voltage. There's 12.5 volts it's saying. So I can always read my voltage levels here just by turn that on and turn it off. I also have the ability to plug in the Harbor Freight lamps, which might be nice to use around here for utility, especially when I get working into the bathroom or under the counter areas. I can use those lamps as utility lamps working around here, so that's convenient too. Also, there's a USB charger on this, so I'll be able to charge my cell phone as I work. And there's cigarette lighter outputs, which is incredibly useful. Very, very useful. So, now I'm going to go out and hook up my solar panel wires, light off, and hook them up to the charger. Alright, the Harbor Freight solar panels have this long wire, which I'm just going to feed through here, at least I hope. It's an awkward hole because of the insulation fighting me. Okay, it's in. Give it in a little way so I have some leeway. And let's go inside and hook up the wires. Now the panels are not plugged in yet. This wire is just laying here on the ground right now and terminates right there. I'll be hooking them up in a minute as soon as I go get the wires plugged in inside. Okay, inside again. But I'm using my new light a lot. I'll set up the camera so you can watch, I hope. I don't know how much you'll be able to see. So my wires are inside. There they are. My new wiring. Plus and minus. So I'm going to stand this up on end here. And what you've got, I don't know if you can see this. This is awkward trying to get the camera in here. I don't know how well you can see this. But what you've got here is a solar panel labeled connection. And one is plus and one is minus. And I'm just putting the red on the plus. That's just a screw-on terminal. These are really cheap, really thin wires with the Harbor Freight solar panel kits, really. If you were to get more panels, you would definitely want to get bigger wires and a better charge controller, definitely. Alright, there's a plus and minus from the solar panel connected on properly. Red to red and black to black. Now we can set him down here and then double check the voltage. Everything's still plugged in and working. We'll go outside and plug in the panels. Now all I did is move the panels back a bit so I could plug the wire in, which is right there, which I just connected to the batteries. So we should hopefully see some charging on this, on the charge controller here. Let me see what the voltage readout is, 12.5. The thing about the Harbor Freight setup is I don't know if the panels are charging or not. It doesn't tell you. There's no status indicator of what it's doing. It just shows you the voltage and whatever. So anyway, it's gonna up 12.6. Yes, there is evidence it's charging. Did you see the voltage go up? I think you can see that on HD video. So the voltage is going up. If I shut off the lights, it'll probably even go up some more. So it is charging. It works. I have my first solar powered setup. There it is, 12.7 going up. Have my first solar powered setup in the tiny house on wheels. I have light, I've got solar power, and getting the wiring properly set up. 12.7 volts and rising. Happiness. Look at that, 12.8. Those solar panels are pumping out some power. And it's partly cloudy, partly sunny. And the Harbor Freight panels, I have a book that I was reading I'm going to share with everyone in a separate video and do a discussion on solar panels and power output. But I was reading that the Harbor Freight solar panels actually are better and more efficient than the polycrystalline solar panels that I have out in the meadow. Because on an average cloudy day, rainy day, my polycrystalline panels out in the meadow put out about 8 watts of power for 800 watts. That's 1/100th of their rated power output. Now the Harbor Freight panels put out anywhere between 15 and 45 watts on a rainy day. And they're 45 watt panels. Therefore, the amorphous panels from Harbor Freight are better in all weather. They put out closer to their actual rated output in all weather conditions. I'll explain that in much more detail later, but just trust for now. Look at that, 12.9 volts. The voltage is rising, and my batteries back there are charging happily. That is very good news. So, anyway, the Harbor Freight panels are working well. The amorphous panels are more efficient per rated watt than the polycrystalline. Alright, well, moving on to cleaning the living room and putting in some more lights. Back to the charge controller, solar panels and everything. Here's a test. Now the Harbor Freight has charge controller has a USB output, but generally it does not work. It only puts out a 1/2 amp. Oh, it is charging my phone. Look at that. If you can see here, it is charging my phone. See that? It works. Look at that. So the USB adapter will directly charge my cell phone. How nice. All right. Good news. Taking down the temporary solar powered system here. It's done its job, served me well. Now it's time to take it apart. I guess the one battery is ready for the scrap heat because it has a short inside. Can't restore a battery with a dead short. Nothing you can do about that. I don't know why it would have a dead short. It's odd. But it happened. But it served me here well for the construction period. This little temporary solar powered setup did serve me well. Well, the batteries are disconnected. Again, some of you may remember this was the power for the this was a battery bank and a solar setup for the bug out survival truck. Emergency power on the go. Just grab it and run. Now I'm just taking off the solar panels here. Well, not the solar, what am I saying? Nope, I've already got everything off. The solar wire stays on. The power wire stays here. Put the fuse back in place. Everything is disconnected and ready to roll. This stays how it is. And I can take this out of here. Take it back out to the storage. Get the batteries out of here, clean up the living room, and start using this house finally. Cleaning the living room. Obviously there's a lot of stuff on the table now needs to be put away, but I feel that emptying the floor in here is somehow a major milestone. I have a feeling This is a tremendous turning point for the tiny cottage on wheels here. This is just, I had to sit down and just look at this a minute. I am really emptying the living room now. There is no longer a construction zone in the living room of my tiny house on wheels. It's going to be a living room in a few minutes here. Actually, I'm going to take lunch because I'm getting lightheaded. But when I get back from lunch, this is going to be a living room. This is going to be a rustic cottage living room. It's almost getting there. It's almost done. It's getting there. I will have this. I will have it done before winter. This is just really, it just hit me like a hammer. This is big. I don't know if you can, some of you guys probably can imagine what I'm feeling right now, because this has been a construction zone all along, and now I am cleaning up the living room of my tiny house. The construction in the living room is done, although a little bit of trim work. This is really exciting. I'm going to have lunch, get out the last couple items off the floor, sweep it, and bring out baby cat, and we'll celebrate together. Well, here comes the rain. It's starting now. It's just starting to sprinkle, and there's a big, bad storm coming on the way. It's really dark in the tiny house now. Let me see, actually. Sometimes with the... There, that's a good example. Let me see what it looks like when I turn on the light. I just am amazed at how bright that light is over there in the kitchen. Makes a massive difference. Really incredible. I was checking it out now that it's dark in here. And, sorry, I'm slipping my handle on over my hand here. Oh, it's good. I can work. I can prepare meals in here. Whoops. Out of focus. I can really work in here. So when I get the other spotlights done, it'll be really nice. Look at that. It's dark. Really dark. Makes a difference. Well, I'm going to go in and work on a video for a little bit while it rains, and then I'll come back out here and do some more wiring. I have been asked to show how these LED light strings actually work, and I will now do so. It's very simple. Sorry that there's not much light in here. It is really dark. There's a massive storm overhead, and I don't have much light in here because I'm installing it right now. So these LED light strings can be cut and pasted together or shortened or whatever as needed. How is it in there? Here we go. So I just had this twist tied in there to this wire. Now, I need 61 inches for the one corner of my tiny house, so I'm simply going to measure it and cut it. 61 inches. I know you won't be able to see all of this, but all I'm doing is I'm just going to lay this out along the tape measure using the end with the wires attached. That's how it comes off the spool right out of the shop. I'm just going to use that end first because it does have the wires and it's convenient. This is nothing spectacular or special. All you do is you measure out what you need, and then here's a good point to demonstrate. Alright, I've got it laid out along the tape measure. I need 61 inches, but you need to cut it where there's a solder joint. So if you look at this one, there's a solder joint at 60 and there's a solder joint at 62. Am I zoomed? Yes, I am. So you can see the solder joint right here, and you can see one right here. So I'm going to cut this at 60. Alright, right there. So I can still solder this. So I'm going to attempt to show you how I do that. So hold on a minute. Okay, I need some scissors or cutters. I might have to go outside Alright, I'm gonna have to go outside. I think they were outside when Emma was helping me yesterday. Be right back. I left the house door open so you can see a little bit better, a little bit more daylight. So, as I was saying, at 60 is where the solder joint is. Now I'm going to cut that right down dead center in the middle of that joint. There's actually little tiny indentations on that, so you can do so. And I want to cut it right dead center, so I still have solder points on either side of that. I'll show you up close. Where's my camera? Here we are. Wait a minute. This is awkward. Alright, focus. Come on. Focus. Focus. Oh well. Shh. Not. Here we go. Alright, you can see somewhat. There, now the camera's cooperating. You can see I just cut that right in half. Okay? With the scissors. So you got 2 tabs on this side and 2 tabs on this side. They both still have the tabs. Now, I've got the piece that I need. Oops. So now I've got the piece that I need to put up in the, that's that piece with the wire, goes up in there, which I'll show you here in a minute. It should hopefully still fit perfectly right up in here right now. For the indirect lighting of my tiny house. And there it is. The wires fit, and the light fits. I mean, the light fits, everything fits. So I'm just checking for size right now. And now I'm going to cut another one for this back wall and another one for the side. And then I have to solder them all together. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all these, and then I'll show you later how I attach them. Well, sorry, but due to a low voltage situation, when I turned on the little inverter I have sitting here, and plugged in my soldering iron, I went down to 11.9 volts. So I shut it down. Those 2 batteries have been sitting for a while and need to be charged. It was probably a surface charge that they were showing because the sun was shining on the solar panels. So that's it for today. I will not be soldering my lights together today. I will do that tomorrow. Today I can continue on though and string up the another set of lights by the or I can set up the switch and the wires from the upstairs down. Why are you not focusing? And at least get that set up, the light switch and stuff, and the box that'll hold it. So I'll work on that for now. Look at this, everybody. You know what that means, don't you? Huh? That means I have a hen laying eggs. Must have been it means I have a hen laying eggs. Must have been 3 days now. My first 3 eggs from the new chickens. Now, the 2 reds are a 1.5 years old now. One of the white hens is a 1.5 years old, and she laid 1 egg ever. And the others are only 6 months old. So I'm not sure which one this is from, but it's good food. Tomorrow morning I have breakfast. Well, I want to show you because I just love this so much. It's pitch black here in the corner, and now it's bright. Look at that. I'm just amazed at those 3 LEDs. That is just incredible. I mean, this is perfect. You can see every detail in the wood. It's bright enough to work on, or to work with. Actually, you can see the nails that they're not taking the polyurethane. I'm going to have to put something in them. I wonder if I can zoom this camera right up there. Anyway, I'm going to have to put something in those nail holes to seal them off, because they're not, the polyurethane's not sticking to them. It's going to be a lot of work. But if I get some real wood glue, some good wood glue, maybe I can do that. That sure looks pretty. Really looks nice with the the LED lighting. I like it. I like the LED lighting. Pretty impressive. Really impressive. No, it's sort of dark out. It's mostly dark. But look in here. Pitch black. Without the lighting, almost pitch black. With this lighting off, it will be darker. So, yeah, that works. When I get those done and rest of the counter, I'll be good. Because here's a little darker. And get a few more of them up. I like it. Well, I'm gonna head off to church, so Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project, signing off from the night. Shutting out the lights in my tiny house on wheels.